minor. Let's look at minor. First, let's look at major. So how do we define a major scale? It's a whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Okay, so go ahead and write this down. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step. And you can think of these 2 whole steps and 3 whole steps as the black keys on the piano. Yeah, just go ahead and take some white space on your book and write this down. Oh, you did. That's major. So let's look at C major. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then C. We already had C, so I'll write it like that. This is going to be scale degree 1. D will be scale degree 2. C will be scale degree 3. F will be scale degree 4. G will be scale degree 5. A will be scale degree 6. B will be scale degree 7. And C will be scale degree 8, which is really scale degree 1. Because we already had C. Play a C scale for us, please. Beautiful. Now, let's go to what we call the parallel minor. From C major to C minor is the same key. It's just going from major to minor, but we're still in the key of C. So we call that the parallel minor. P-A-R-A, 2 parallel L's, L-L-E-L. Minor. To do that, we're going to flat scale degree 3, 6, and 7. So let's flat scale degree 3, scale degree 6, and scale degree 7. And I'll draw the flats above the notes so they can stand out, even though technically we would draw them before the notes. So now what we have is C minor. Play C minor for us, just like this on the board. Yeah, go ahead and play that again. Good. Between C and the D is a whole step. Between D and the E flat is a half step. Between E flat and an F is a whole step, because E is in between that. Between F and G is a whole step. Between G and A flat is a half step. Between A flat and B flat is a half step. And between B flat and C, the B is in the middle, so it's a whole step. Hold on. I drew that wrong. Half step. Between A flat and B flat, there's an A in between it, so that's a whole step. And then between B flat and C is a whole step. So now we've got whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. Well, if we take this whole step over here and we bring him over here, we have 3 whole steps in a row. Well, what do we have? Whole step, half step, whole step, half step. So we've shifted this over by something. Let me figure this out. Where's our, okay, these are our 3 whole steps in a row, which are right here. And we've lobbed off, we're starting right here. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. So we're coming from here, we're starting here, and then going 1, 2, 3. So C, B, A. So the relative minor to C major would be A, because that would be the shift. We would start here, as opposed to the parallel minor, where we would keep the same key. So the parallel minor to C major is C minor. The relative minor is A minor, because you're not shifting these whole step patterns, you're just starting on a different key. You're starting on the 6th scale degree. If I erase the flats and I keep all the white keys, I get the key of C. But if I start on the key of A, I get A minor. I'm still using all the white keys. So when the minor key shares the same notes on the piano as the major key, we call it the relative minor. It's related because all the notes are the same. You have the same sisters and brothers. So the relative minor shares the same notes as the major. It's a different key. You're in the key of A, but it's the same notes. You're in A minor as opposed to C major. But C minor would be the same key with different notes. Specifically, flat 3, flat 6, and flat 7. And that occurs for all of the keys. If you're in the key of E flat, and you want to go to E flat minor from E flat major, you would flat 3, 6, and 7. You would figure out what those are from the scale degrees from E flat, and so forth. So, this is C major, this is C minor, and then this is A minor, which shares the notes of C major. So that's the difference between the parallel minor, which shares the name of the key, and the relative minor, which shares the notes of the major key. I'll write that on the board. It's tricky when you first go through it. We'll write it like this. C minor is the parallel minor of C major. A, you can write this down. You can write it like this. It's kind of a cross-reference. It's another way to say it. A minor is the relative minor of C major. So G major, which has an F sharp, if you flat 3, 6, and 7, you'll get G minor. You no longer have an F sharp because F sharp is 7. If you flat F sharp, you get F. We say lower because to say flat F sharp is a little weird. But if you go down a third, you you get E minor, and E minor shares the same notes as G major. So E minor is the relative minor to G major. G minor is the parallel minor to G major. Same concept. Now let's just look at minor itself. Forget about the relationship to major. Let's just look at minor. Okay? To get C minor from C major, you flat 3, 6, and 7. To get any minor from any major, you flat 3, 6, and 7. The scale degrees. But if you want to, well, that will get you a 1, 5, 1 chord progression where we have a lowercase 5, like this. Okay, so you have a C and then a B flat and a C in there. But if you want to strengthen that dominant and create a real strong dominant tonic resolution, we'll make a major 5. As opposed to C, G minor, C major, C minor, G minor, C minor, C minor, G major. There's that B, the raised third. We call it the Picardy third. So we're going to use the leading tone. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this flat and naturalize it. Okay? Natural. So play C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, B natural, C. Yeah, now all of a sudden we're in the Middle East. Between A flat and B must be some kind of second, the interval, because you can count A to B on your fingers, and that's 2. It's not a major second, right? It's not a minor second, it's not a major second, it's an augmented second. It sounds like a minor third when taken out of context. If I do this, all of a sudden it becomes a minor third. It becomes C flat, A flat to C flat. That's a minor third because we're spelling it with a C. But if we spell it with a B, it's a second. If we spell it with a C, it's a third. A, B, C. 1, 2, 3. Simple as do, re, mi. A, B, 1, 2. It's the same notes on the piano, but it's a different interval. It's not a minor second. It's not a major second. We're going to augment the major second by 1 note, so we call it an augmented second. I'm going to write this down. Augmented second. You'd be expected to know this. Between the flat 6 and the natural 7, right there. Augmented second. So here's a major second from A flat to A. From A flat to B flat is a major second, sorry, minor second, major second, augmented second. So we're changing the harmony to strengthen the dominant, and we call it the harmonic minor scale. This is the harmonic minor scale. So if we have a flat 3 right here, that's just called the natural minor scale. Doesn't matter if it's parallel or minor, it's the natural minor scale. Come on in. We're just finishing up. Can I take 2 more minutes?
Sure.
Do you have 2 more minutes? All right, you can come on in. They can see the end of this. This is really important. I want to complete this situation. So we have the natural.
You can come on in, sweetheart. You can sit down.
You can come in and take a seat. We're just finishing up here. This, you can watch this too. You just take a seat in the blue chair. The natural minor takes a major scale and you flat 3, flat 6, and flat 7. The harmonic minor has a flat 3, a flat 6, and a natural 7. Okay, that's your leading tone. This applies to you too. This applies to you too. You'll eventually get it. So this is the natural minor. This is the harmonic minor. You hear that between the A flat and the B natural, you can hear that augmented second. It's an interval of an augmented second. Now, in this particular case, with Bach, what Bach is doing here is, let's see, he's not doing, he actually raised the, he raised the A as well, not the A, or whatever the key is. He raised the 6th scale degree as well. So he took that and he said, let's just chop off the whole back and make that a major scale. But we're going to keep the minor third. So it turns out that when something is minor, what determines whether or not something is major or minor in music depends solely on the third. And there are no exceptions to this rule, either with a scale or with a chord. If a chord has a minor third, it's a minor chord. It doesn't matter what you play above it. So if C is the root, and I have E, then I do this, I just put my hand on the keys, it's a minor, some type of C minor. It could be C minor, sharp 5, flat 7, double sharp 11, whatever it is. If the third is minor, it's a minor chord, period. 0 exceptions. If the third is minor, it's a minor scale. You can have a major scale at the back end, which is what this is, right? If I play a C major scale, and I just flat the third, it's C major at the back, but it's C minor at the front, it's C minor. So what do we call it? Well, because the two notes, we don't have that jagged augmented second, it's more melodic, we call it the melodic minor. When you have a flat 3, but natural 6 and 7, that's called the melodic minor. You have to know that. Flat 3, natural 6, and natural 7. So those are your minors. Now, how these are related to the major scale, that determines whether you have a parallel or a relative minor. But this could be a parallel natural or a relative natural, a parallel harmonic or a relative harmonic, a parallel melodic or a relative melodic. That's something else. That's in relation to the major. The minor alone by itself, whether it's natural, harmonic, or melodic, determines here. And so where we have this Bach piece, this part right here, where he goes, right? And then we have that. That is the melodic minor, D minor. D melodic minor. So here's D minor. Here's harmonic. D minor, D harmonic minor. And here's D melodic minor. And that's what he's doing. Right there, on measures 42 and 43 of the D minor invention. So he's doing D. So once you understand he's doing D melodic minor, he has raised the 6 and 7, then you'll be able to play that. Any questions?
Did you write that all down?
Yep.
Great.